Welcome to the Tech Show. I'm Sonia Gavankar, and this week we have astronaut Terry Verts and his new podcast, Amazon Defeats the Unions, and another gadget ties to Take My Money. All that and more coming up on the Tech Show. Now it's time for the latest. Amazon has defeated a union drive that would have established the company's first U.S. union. The vote count against unionization totaled 1,798, just north of the 1,608 votes needed to prevail as a majority. The Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union, which is behind the Bessemer union drive, announced its plans to file objections and unfair labor practice charges with the Labor Board. The RWDSU says it will request an NLRB hearing to determine if Amazon, quote, created an atmosphere of confusion, coercion, and/or fear of reprisals and thus interfered with the employees' freedoms of choice. According to the final tally reached Friday afternoon, 738 workers voted in favor of the union. Meanwhile, 505 ballots are being challenged. However, the vote lead held by Amazon is greater than the total number of challenged ballots. Amazon, which has previously fended off unions in the United States, waged an online and offline campaign to combat the drive, including posting signage in bathroom stalls and pulling workers into meetings before the start of elections to convey its anti-union stance. The company's messaging around how it pays and treats its workers only grew more aggressive in public in the final days of the election, with the company feuding on Twitter with Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Mark Pocan of Wisconsin. Soon, guests will be able to walk alongside Earth's mightiest heroes when Avengers Campus, the new land based on the Marvel franchise, opens at Disney's California Adventure on June 4th. The land, which is located at the sister theme park of Disneyland in Anaheim, California, is the company's latest undertaking at its parks and resorts units. Disney said on Thursday that the land will operate a few months after Disneyland itself reopens on April 30th. Disneyland and California Adventure have been closed for more than a year because of the coronavirus pandemic. A new Avengers Campus will be a sprawling new land that will include rides, foods, and locales, all based on the comic book brand. The campus's premier attraction is called Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, which is a 3D ride with New York's favorite web slinger. The company calls it an interactive escapade that allows guests to sling webs like Spider-Man and experience what it's like to have superpower. There will also be eateries, including the Pym Test Kitchen, which will offer impossible plant-based meatballs as well as other foods at unusual scales, including shareable bites, inventive-sized entrees, and tiny treats, according to Disney. There's also many of Marvel's popular locations for guests to explore, including an ancient sanctum from Doctor Strange and Avengers headquarters. Very exciting. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
I got to the age where it just clicked on, hey, life is short, buy the damn shoes. I'm Mark Bryan. I'm 61 years old, from Dallas, Texas, and I'm a man wearing heels. Brianna, she follows me on my Instagram account. I'm not sure why she follows me. I'm just a robotic engineer. I'm just a football coach. I'm just a straight man that just wants to wear a skirt and high heels. To me, they're not gendered. I should be able to wear them. 95% of people think I'm homosexual, but I really don't care what people think. Don't automatically judge a person's sexual orientation by what they're wearing. My family, they're just proud of what I'm doing 100%. I have a good sense of balance and, fairly strong leg muscles. I look nice. I don't change if I'm wearing pants. I'm still the same father, still the same husband. I'm still the same person.
open up, so let's celebrate and make this year's cookout unforgettable. Chef Jamie Gwynn is here to show us how the girl at the grill turns up the heat on old favorites, making them even better than ever. She's also got surprises for the finicky and a homage to the flexitarians among us. Hello, Chef Jamie.
Chef Jamie Gwen here. Fire up the grill and stay cool with this berry back serve. You can simply pair a chilled can of Smirnoff Seltzer Red, White, and Berry with 1.5 ounces of original Smirnoff Red, White, and Berry flavored spirit. The limited edition seltzer is 0 sugar, only 90 calories, and delivers a delicious combination of cherry, citrus, and blue raspberry. Or check out the new premium malt beverage, Smirnoff Ice Smash Red, White, and Berry. Perfect for the barbecue season. As always, please drink responsibly. Now, I also like to bring the heat. These Blue Diamond Extremes almonds are made with real peppers. This superfood comes in 3 super hot flavors: cayenne pepper, ghost pepper, and Carolina Reaper. They have 5 grams of plant protein in a serving, and they're an excellent source of antioxidants. Go to bluediamond.com to find them near you. Now, whether you're hosting or bringing a dish to share, Lundberg organic white rice pilafs are a shortcut to delicious. It's that took all day flavor, but it cooks in only 20 minutes. And my favorite is the cilantro lime rice. Lundberg side dishes are more than just your basic side dish. They're organic and feature clean ingredients, and you can order at shop.lundberg.com. And summer salads always bring freshness and flavor. I make this Pearls olive and avocado salad with tomatoes, cucumber, and feta. People who love olives love and trust Pearls. My home state of California is perfect for growing black ripe olives, and I love that Pearls is committed to keeping jobs in the U.S. They always put the highest quality olives in their cans and cups, so look for them in the sunny yellow packaging. For more delicious inspiration, go to dailylounge.com. Back to you.
Thanks, Chef.
Welcome back to the Tech Show. Colonel Terry Verts is known for having taken more pictures from space than any other human. And now he's the first astronaut with his own podcast. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Your book, How to Astronaut, gives a really unique perspective into the journey that only a couple hundred humans have ever taken. What's the coolest thing about space? Just one of the coolest things.
That is hard to say. There's 2 things that are awesome. Floating is one. You can only float on Earth for maybe a second. If you jump off a diving board, you get a second of floating. Or if you're in an airplane going fast, you can push over and get a few seconds, maybe 20 seconds of weightlessness. But in space, when they turn the rocket engines off, you're floating for, well, I ended up spending over 7 months there. So when I wrote How to Astronaut, the new book, that was one of the many chapters I wrote was about how to adjust to floating. And then the view was awesome. You talked about my photography. I've got some pictures on the wall behind me. I could spend my whole life up there just, taking pictures and shooting movies. It's really awesome.
Well, after a year of being in quarantine, I have to kind of get back into shape, and I don't want to, become a Navy SEAL, but maybe I'd like to be an astronaut. Do you have any good kind of like workout training things to get me to astronaut?
Yeah, that's one of the many chapters in my book, How to Astronaut, is just staying in shape, because it's really important, because you're weightless, right? You're floating. You never get any exercise at all unless you get on a machine and do some weightlifting or running on a treadmill, etc. So before you go into space, getting your bones and muscles is important. And then once you're in space, we have a treadmill, we have like a weightlifting machine. It's kind of like a Bowflex. It uses vacuum to generate the force because there's no weight. And then we have a bike. And between those 3 things, my last mission was 200 days. When I landed, I had lost 0.0% of my bone density, which was amazing. But I was able to keep myself in shape by doing those, resistive exercises and also cardio.
Okay, well, let's talk about the future of space now. We're getting ready for Crew 2 to make some history. Do you think that society is ready for commercialized space travel?
I think society is way overdue for that. People have wanted to travel into space for probably since there were people. You look up and you go, wow, I wonder what those stars are. So We're almost to the point where these commercial space tourist companies are going to launch space tourists. And although they're charging $250,000, and I don't have a spare 250 laying around, a lot of people could save up $250,000. So I think a lot of people are going to have access to space. It's going to be dangerous. You know, you're riding a rocket in the vacuum of space, and that's not riding a 737 from Baltimore to, Atlanta.
What do you think those people should be trying to accomplish? What are the goals we should have other than, hey, I did it, I'm one of the few?
I think if you fly, you should share the experience. You should, share the photo, do the home movie tour. I think when you look back on Earth, one of the many takeaways that I had was, man, we all live on that planet. There's a whole huge universe where nobody lives and nobody ever will. I mean, unless you have a spacesuit or a spaceship, there's no place in our solar system that humans will ever be able to live. So we got one planet, we need to take care of it, and we need to figure out how to get along. There seems to be a lot of division going on in the world. So, maybe the more people that see that and get that perspective, that'll help us out. We sure need the help.
And your photography is another aspect of maybe one of your passion projects. Tell me about what that was like. Were you into photography before going into space, or did you just want to capture the moments while up there?
Yeah, I'm a photographer. I've had a camera around my neck since I was a kid. My parents got me a SLR. I was probably in 4th or 5th grade or something, my first camera. My kids are like, Dad, stop taking pictures, even to this day. And so I was really into it, and I got to film a movie called A Beautiful Planet. It's an IMAX movie. It just randomly happened. I just happened to be there when they were making the movie. And that was probably the most important thing I did. Now that I'm back on Earth, I directed my first film last year called One More Orbit, a documentary. I made a short film called Cosmic Perspective about space photography. And I'm really hoping to get that turned into a series, like a Netflix series or something like that. And so I love it. I think there's so many amazing images that astronauts have taken, that Hubble has taken, that the Mars probes have taken. It's just such a huge field, and it's shown us our place in the universe, and it's awesome.
And the speed has come so far just in the last couple of years, waiting for the images to come back from the last Mars mission. I mean, those came back almost instantaneously, and it was kind of a surprise as they started to pop up, and they didn't look like they were taken from your flip phone.
The quality is amazing. When I filmed I helped film A Beautiful Planet, we actually used GoPros, this smaller than an iPhone GoPros, and they were actually rushed. The Russians went down to Best Buy, bought some GoPros, and built a box to protect them, and they lent them to me. I borrowed them, took them outside on my spacewalk. You could never do that even a few years before with a giant IMAX film camera.
Well, from awesome imagery, let's talk about awesome audio. You're starting a podcast. Tell us what that's going to be like, where we can find it, all the things we need to know about astronauts on podcasts.
I am so excited about this. I was doing a blog in the past, and so this is kind of, instead of doing the written blog, I'm doing this. I set up the studio for the podcast, so it's called Down to Earth with Terry Verts. So wherever you listen to podcasts on Apple or Google or Spotify, just search for Down to Earth with Terry Verts. And the first episode was great. A guy named Larry Copald, who runs the Carbon Underground. They're trying to change land use to bring carbon out of the atmosphere, which is awesome. This next episode, I just recorded it yesterday, and it really blew my mind and my producer's mind. It's about basically UFOs. And it was, I was blown away. It was with a former Undersecretary of Defense, so a very senior security official, was telling us stuff that I had never heard before. And so I talked to an astronomer about the end of the universe. We talked to the CEO of Guide Dogs for the Blind about how guide dogs are done. So I have a really broad spectrum, basically anything interesting that affects us down here on planet Earth, I'm happy to talk about. But I'm really excited about it.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
We have to take a quick break, but more of the Tech Show coming up right after this.
We all know the unofficial start of summer kicks off after Memorial Day, so now is the perfect time to refresh those beauty cabinets. We're thrilled to have celebrity hairstylist, beauty expert, and new mom, Justine Merjan, with us today to share the go-to beauty products she trusts for summer. Thanks for joining us, Justine.
Thank you so much for having me.
So where do we start?
Well, let's start with hair. I've been styling hair for 15 years, and one of my best tips for summer is to switch to a shampoo and conditioner duo with a lightweight formula for those high humidity months. I suggest Treseme's new Pro Pure line of salon quality shampoos and conditioners. The collection provides a cleaner way to care for your hair with 0% sulfates, parabens, or mineral oils. Within the line, my go-to is the Pro Pure Damage Recovery Shampoo and Conditioner. As Treseme's global stylist, I style my hair a lot, but this combo really helps to keep my hair healthy. I also keep Treseme's Pro Pure Leave-In Detangling Conditioner close by for pool and beach days when hair needs some extra TLC. Each Tresemme Pro Pure product is $5.99 and can be found at local drugstores and mass retailers.
Love it. What's next?
Well, I also love skincare, so I'm going to share some of my favorite face and body products. I'm drawn to cooling ingredients in the summer, so I was really excited to try Ren's Summer Limited Edition Daily AHA Tonic. It contains British source organic cucumber, willow bark extract, and lactic acid, which is going to help exfoliate, add moisture, and tighten pores for smoother skin. This is really great before makeup. The limited edition one by Ren promises the ultimate glow, and you can grab a bottle at renskincare.com for $39. And as a new mom, I've also switched to a lot more natural products, so I've really been loving natural deodorant. I use Schmidt's Rose and Vanilla Natural Deodorant. It smells so good. It helps to neutralize odor and offers 24-hour protection with 100% natural origin ingredients like shea butter and odor-fighting magnesium. It helps get me through everything from mom duties to workouts to client bookings and photo shoots, and it's just $6.99 and can be found at local drugstores and mass retailers.
Is there anything else we should consider for summer?
Well, there's only so much you can do on the outside if you're not getting proper nutrition on the inside. So always consult your physician before starting a new supplement regimen. But I love taking Ollie Undeniable Beauty supplements. They support healthy hair, skin, and nails and have a delicious grapefruit flavor and are packed with active ingredients like biotin, keratin, and vitamin C, which is a key ingredient in the production of collagen, which supports a youthful glow. Each bottle is just $13.99 and can also be found at select retailers in store and online.
I know we're running out of time, but for anyone who wants to get more advice for summer hairstyle inspiration, where should they go?
Well, you can head to tresemme.com to learn more about the latest and greatest products and for some summer hair inspo. And you can also find me on social media at Justine Marjan. I'm always posting new hair tutorials and talking all things beauty and wellness. So be sure to follow me.
Will do. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jim Fournier is a social media visionary who works at the intersection of technology and humanitarianism. After starting several successful companies, he has turned his energies to fighting fake news, and he's here to tell us all about it. Hello, Jim.
Hi, great to be here.
You started out with environmental concerns like climate path and planet work. What drew you to tackle social media, and what do you want to accomplish?
Well, really, everything in society rests on our access to good information. Really, at this point, I'd call it internet reality.
You called True social media without social dilemma. What does that mean?
Well, as the documentary Social Dilemma showed, what's happened with the business model driving online social media and advertising in general is that people are fed more and more of whatever is emotionally provocative for them. So instead of providing real information, it feeds back more and more things that will make people upset or angry or reinforce what they already believe. So True is really designed to surface good quality news and information and reinforce and reward that.
Part of the dilemma is that if a lie is said enough, it becomes less of an outright lie and more of a question to discuss. How does True combat that?
That's certainly where things have gone. True is really a publishing platform. So the idea is that we're initially pulling in content from other sources that are publishing it. And then when it's published on True, it anchors what the academics call data provenance, a line that shows where something was originally posted, who republished it and reposted it, and how it flowed through the system. This allows all parties to begin to establish reputation so that you can begin to look at the reputation of where something came from
And then we can also connect it to third parties that are emerging that check and validate the quality of content. And then they put their reputation on the line to vouch for it or say, this is no good.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jim, for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
More of the Tech Show coming up right after this. Now it's time for Take My Money, where this week we're just ironing the inches off at home.
How does fat iron work? Well, just like the iron you know does, a regular iron removes the wrinkles from your clothes by slowly going over them with heat. Fat iron was created with the same concept minus the burning heat. It works to strengthen and tone muscles while smoothing and firming the deeper layers of the skin to give you a beautiful, young, and sculpted look. During the clinical test, the efficiency of fat iron was undeniable. 90% reported fat dimples to be less apparent. 88% reported firmer looking and feeling skin. 89% reported smoother skin. And 89% felt more confident after using fat iron. We even added a special fitness mode that mimics a full fitness workout without the effort.
So you're ironing your skin every day for a temporary smoothness boost, but you still have to work out and eat healthy to see any results. So forget it, fat iron, I'm gonna keep my money. I mean, come on. Ugh, ironing, I don't even iron my clothes. Thanks for joining us this week. Follow us at The Tech Show TV and join the conversation. Talk to you later.